Mary was a 10-year-old girl with cute blonde hair and bright blue eyes. She always smiled, joked, and had many friends. Was she the most popular girl at school? No. In her class? Probably not either. She wasn't one of those cool kids who wore designer clothes or talked about the latest trends, but she definitely wasn't lonely. Mary was popular among her friends. Everyone liked her big smile and kind, friendly way. She always had time to help and was never too busy to listen if someone had a problem. But what made Mary truly special, everyone thought, was that she was fearless. She was always the first one to speak in front of the class, the first to jump into the river, the first to catch a frog with her bare hands. Fearless Mary, that's what they called her. Or so it seemed. You see, Mary had a big secret. So big, it felt like an invisible elephant followed her everywhere. She never told a single soul. Not her best friend Betty, not her mom who she adored, not even her dad who always listened. But I'll tell you, can you keep a secret? The truth is, Mary was afraid of everything, not just a little scared, petrified. Really petrified. Frogs, horrible slimy monsters, speaking in class, like soaring off the roof, jumping into the river, like leaping out of an airplane. But how can that be, I hear you asking? Well, let me tell you how Mary met her fear. From the time she was a little girl, Mary was always scared. Go and say hi to that girl, her mom would encourage her at the playground, but Mary just hid behind her. Mary, go and ask that nice lady at the store how much that sweetie is, her dad would say. But Mary would burst into tears and run. And it stayed that way for many years, until one day. Mary remembers it clearly. She was 6 years old when she saw a spider on the wall. She screamed, ran into her room and hid her face in her hands. She cried, and then she looked at herself in the mirror. What did she see? Red face, small trembling body, and something inside her snapped. She clenched her fist, stomped her foot, and shouted, "I know you're there. I know you inside me. Fear, do you hear me? I hate you. I hate you. And you know what? You have no power over me. I'll do what I want from now on." And she did. The first time she saw a frog by the river and all her friends screamed and stepped back, she forced herself to say, "I'll pick it up, it's just a frog." She counted 1, 2, 3 because she knew that if she waited, fear would take over. And she grabbed the frog and threw it into the river. Everyone stared. She was a hero. She felt like a hero. It felt amazing. That night, standing in front of the mirror, she said, "You see? You are nothing. I'm not afraid. You don't even exist." And she fell asleep smiling. But things weren't that simple. In her dream, hundreds of frogs were chasing her. They were huge, bigger than houses, and Mary was screaming in terror. "Ah!" She woke up gasping, sat up in bed, hugged her knees and rocked back and forth. "It's just a dream," she whispered, but deep inside she knew fear wasn't going anywhere. So she lived like that for 4 long years. A brave girl, a local hero during the day, and a trembling, lonely girl at night, dreading the darkness and her dreams. Until one day, something that happened that changed everything. That night, Mary went to bed as always, but this time there was no nightmare. Instead, she heard a voice, gentle like a boy's. "Why do you hate me?" the voice asked. "What?" Mary turned her head in the darkness of a dream. "Why do you hate me?" the voice asked again. It didn't sound angry, just curious. "Who are you?" Mary asked. "I'm Fear. You're Fear." Fear? That couldn't be right. She had imagined Fear as a monster with deep, growling voice, not this calm, friendly one. "Then show yourself," she demanded. "You can't see me when you lock me inside. Set me free and I'll show myself." Mary suddenly woke up. What was that about? She whispered to herself. All day long, the dream echoed in her mind. Mary, why don't you come and tell us about the water cycle? Her teacher's voice pulled her back to reality. Oh, there we go, in front of the whole class. But instead of counting 1, 2, 3, like she always did, Mary paused. She took a deep breath and whispered, what do I feel? I feel fear. Here I am, and here's my fear next to me. And just like that, he appeared. A boy with messy black hair and twinkling brown eyes. He wore a checkered red shirt, black jeans, and kept his hands in his pockets. A mischievous smile played on his lips. Wow, that's unexpected, thought Mary. So, water cycle, he said in the voice from her dream. Shall we? He gave her a playful wave towards the front of the class. It was strange, but Mary didn't feel scared. How could she feel fear if fear was standing next to her? Let's go and rock this class, he grinned. I love the water cycle. It goes round and round. Did you know it never ends? He kept chattering as they walked together, and somehow Mary spoke. She told the whole class about the water cycle. The teacher smiled. Everyone clapped. That night, Mary stood in front of the mirror and said, I feel fear. He's next to me. But then she heard a voice from deep inside. Nice try. Do I look stupid? Don't I know when you really feel me? Don't worry, we'll meet again tomorrow. Mary smiled, cheeky, and for the first time in years, she fell asleep peacefully. The next morning, Mary was walking to school when suddenly she saw a dog coming towards her. Her hands got sweaty, her heart was racing fast. I'm scared, she said. I feel fear. Here is me and here is my fear. Hi, said the familiar boy in black jeans, smiling with that sparkle in his eye. What do we have here? Oh, dogs. He made a dramatic face of disgust. Hold my hand, he said, offering it to Mary. Did you know the dogs are actually scared of everything? Even cats. Imagine a giant dog walking past, saying to himself, please, no cats, please, no cats. I hope there are no cats hiding in the bushes. Anything but cats. He pretended to whimper, and Mary laughed. As she laughed, she passed the dog, and again Mary didn't feel scared because fear was beside her, not inside. She glanced at the dog with curiosity and smiled, imagining it as a soft, silly puppy. The dog felt friendliness and wagged its tail. See you later, Fear said, and he faded into the background. Mary walked on to school. Later that day, on her way home, she saw another big dog. To her surprise, Fear simply appeared next to her and held out his hand. Shall we? He asked. Mary looked at him with gratitude and said, you know, I think I'm okay on my own for this one. She walked past the dog and even patted its head. When she turned around, Fear was clapping. I'll always be here when you feel me, he said, but it's okay if you don't. No hard feelings. Honestly, I'm a busy guy. There are always dogs to attend to. You know, the ones with panic attacks over cats. Mary laughed. She was still a kind, brave girl, but now she didn't need to pretend. She had befriended Fear, and together they would go on many adventures. She knew because he told her once, lucky for us, there are enough scary things to go through in life. Mary was brave, but this time, for real.